Is it this mic? All right. So, my name is David Rios. I'm here getting my doctorates in business degree, and I'm going to be talking about the power of mindset today. Next slide, please. So, about me, you can click again. I'm from Sandwich, Massachusetts. It's one of the oldest cities in Massachusetts. Next, please. I've worked in every industry before I came back to Sam for my doctorates. I've been in every industry you can think of: movies, film, repairs, industry, everything. Next, please. I met Nancy Pelosi before she was big. I met her at a... What's wrong with the mic? Whoa. Is it good here? All right. Yeah, and so I met Nancy Pelosi before she was big. It was at a Shipley's Donut parking lot in 2013. Next, please. And I'm the four times winner of the Lay's Creative Flavor Competition, with flavors as soup, hard-boiled egg with salt, medium rare steak, and Wendy's. Next, please. My life in 2019. Next, please. I worked at Google as a top-level non-standard operating systems management chief supervisor admin for 2 years. Next, please. I had a family with over 42 children. You can see in that picture, adopted and biological. Next, please. 100K in the bank. I was set. I was good. Next. And I had minimal anger issues at this point in my life, with a happy future ahead. Next slide. Fall from grace. 3 years in my car. I was laid off from Google in 2021, and I spent 3 years living in a car. Next, please. Robbed and mugged while living in that car. Some days I was hungry and I didn't have money, so I had to eat paper and drink water from the ice filling stations. It was hard. Death followed me wherever I went. Seemed like any friend I made, next day they were gone. I felt like God had stopped talking to me, truly. Next slide, please. And I did get a criminal record during this time. I can't go into it here publicly. I can't go into it. Sorry about that. This was home from 2019 to 2022. Some people think a mobile home is home. I called my home a 2006 Ford E350 Super Duty cargo van. Next, please. No space to sleep. This was a converted AC repair car, so it had all the little shelves in the back, so I couldn't really sleep in it. Or I did, but it was hard. I got constant parking/speeding tickets all the time, almost every week. Speeding. I had places to go, and I'll get to that on the next slide, why the speeding tickets came into play. No TV/entertainment, no TikTok when you're living in a van, no The Bachelor, The Bachelorette. You don't get that luxury when you live in a car. Trouble with social life. You don't really meet girls living in a van. It's kind of hard to... Once they find out the living situation, everything goes away. All right, next slide, please. So these are the day-to-day needs of van-to-van life, and it's go from pink to orange in order of importance. Knowledge. You've got to have knowledge. If you don't have knowledge, you're not going to make it. That's the first thing. You got to know about your van. You got to know about the city you're in. Which brings me to the next one, fast food. If a little town only has local restaurants, if I get there too late, I'm not going to eat. So making sure a city has 24/7 fast food places is one of the most important things to do before you arrive. Next, gas. Well, that's pretty obvious. If I didn't have gas, some days I would have woken up in an impound lot. You got to have gas to move if you're going to need to, if you get caught sleeping somewhere, you're going to have to get out of it pretty fast. And if I didn't have gas, I would have gotten me in a lot of sticky situations. All right, next. Crowbar/weapon. Now, crowbar is also a tool, but I've been in 4 fights with it. I've won every single time. Next, please. Fake handicap tags, parking. If you're going to stay somewhere for a long time parked, it looks better in a handicap spot. Next, please. Siphon. So some days I did not have money in the bank. I didn't have cash, so the siphon would be the only thing to do. And I wouldn't get it from people. I would get it from U-Hauls and things that had a lot of amounts, so it wasn't really hurting anyone. Next, George Foreman Grill. I can't tell you how many meals I had with the George Foreman Grill. If you go to Subway, you get a free cup of ingredients. You can make a really nice hot salad. Next, please. 17 credit cards. This was me. Part of the reason that everything went so bad was because I had a lot of debt. So every month I'd get a new credit card, and I ended up with 17 of those. Next slide, please. Oh, and bees. I kept a bunch of bees for honey, and this is like a quick, simple meal you can eat for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or dessert. Next. Okay, mindset. This brings me to the most important part of the PowerPoint. Mindset. So what you're asking yourself, how did you do that? How are you happy? How did you live like that for 2 years? I had the what if mindset. There's two types of mindsets in the world. The what if mindset is more optimistic. You know, like, well, what if tomorrow I get a job? What if someone gives me money? People that have the why if mindset, whiny. And I would fire you if you worked for me. Next slide, please. Now let's compare the general mindset and the David Rios mindset. Next slide. So the general mindset, this is the public's mindset. They thought I had nowhere to call home and that I was constantly on the move. They said maintaining a commercial van costs a lot of money and it's not worth it. They said my diet was junk food with no real nutrition, and they said it was just sad. Next slide. Here's my mindset. I can live wherever I want. I'm mobile. $0 rent. If I want to sleep on the beach, I can. If I want to sleep in front of a Costco, I can. I have freedom. And I get to eat McDonald's and Arby's every day. It's my favorite two restaurants. Next slide. July 2nd, 2022, a new direction in my life. Next slide. Gamefly sponsorship. So I was parked in front of a GameStop and a Gamefly rep came out and they offered me to put a sticker on the side of my van to where if I had it on there and I just drove around with that, I'd get paid $130 every month. This allowed my van to look a little bit more official and I could sleep in front of more stores. Next slide, please. This is Dave Hoddes. This guy saved my life. He's the owner of Gamefly. He kick-started my career again when he gave me $3,000 for my idea of Game State Kitchen Cook Go, which was a Nintendo DS game in 2021. Next slide. So let me tell you about the game. Game State Kitchen Cook Go. That's an idea I've had for a long time. It's just been sitting in the vault. And when I met him, I finally had the opportunity to tell someone about it. You can continue. So what is it? It's a cooking management game that takes place at a real steakhouse that I would sleep in front of. I just got the inspiration from going there so many nights that I decided to make a game about it. Next, please. How do you play? It's a management game, so you're going to be flipping burgers, selling burgers. You're in charge of the customers that come in. It's real simple. A customer comes in, you clean up their table before the next one, or it starts piling up on you, and then it gets hard. Next. How did I pitch it? How did I get $3,000 from it? I was walking down his office after he was talking to me, and I dropped a folder that had good ideas labeled on it, and I pretended that I didn't notice me dropping it. And I left it behind. He said, "Wait, you forgot this." And then he opened it up, and it was my game idea. He read the whole thing. He loved it. Next slide, please. So this is my chart of mindset. If you want to take a look at it really quick, just absorb it. Take it home with you. That's something that I'm offering you. Take this home with you. Try this for a month and see how you feel. Okay, next slide. So what I learned from all this is that money does buy happiness and that physical possessions are the meaning of life. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Thank you. Good luck in all your endeavors. My name is David Rios. Thank you.